Hello, Facebook. Hello, hello. All right. I'm just making sure you guys can hear and see me. Let me just make sure real quick. All right. All right, awesome. Looks like everyone can hear and see. Say hi as you join. Hashtag live, hashtag replay. Say hello. Let me know you're here. I am really excited for today's topic. I have so much to talk about today. I'm going to try to keep it, obviously, I'm going to try to keep it like trimmed up for you guys. But say hi as you join. Let me know you're here. Really excited. I'm actually going to be going live also on Instagram. So I'm just getting myself set up while everybody kind of jumps in. So while you guys are getting in here, say hello. Let me know you're here. I'm just going to pop in real quick over on Instagram as well. All right. So hello, everybody. Hello. I'm going live on Facebook and Instagram. So I'm looking around. Hello, Instagram. Hello, Facebook. Okay, I am really excited. I'm trying to contain myself. I have a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about all the things that I did wrong inside of my group coaching programs. So for those of you that do not know me, hi, my name is Anne, and I actually have been running and leading group coaching programs for about 10 years now. And I've also worked behind the scenes of about 3 multi-million-dollar coaching companies where I saw some of these same things happening in their programs. And so I thought it would be really cool to come in here and share with you guys all the things that went wrong inside of my group coaching programs, that I did wrong, that were wrong, that just are things that I don't do anymore. And I'm excited to share these with you because if you run a group coaching program, or if you are thinking of transitioning and adding group coaching programs to your business model, this training, this information is just going to be so helpful for you. So let me know in the comments also, as you're tuning in, do you offer group coaching programs right now? Are you currently offering group coaching programs? Or let me know if you are going to be adding group coaching programs, okay, to your business model. I'm really excited to talk about this. So for those of you, like a quick backstory, in 2021, I actually shut my business down. Like I didn't take a break. I didn't like go off social media for a little while. Like I shut my business down. I had 2 12-month group coaching programs that were completely full. Each program had about 30 people, 30 clients in it. These were multiple 5-figure investments, 12-month programs, super high-level program groups, group programs. We had, like I said, about 30 people in each program. I had a team of 5 of us. Okay, I had a pretty good team. I was crushing my business. I had my biggest multiple 6-figure year ever. We were crushing it. And I shut that shit down. I shut it down. I closed my business down. I closed out all my programs. Finished my time with my clients. I released them all. And then I let my entire team go. And I literally shut my website down, my Facebook profile. Like I was done. I shut down for an entire year, all of 2021. I'm not going to get into why I did that and what brought me to that decision, because I have 2 podcast episodes that cover the whole thing, like what led to that, what happened, what did I do during that time, what made me come back, like why did I decide to come back, and like what am I doing now. We have like 2 podcast episodes all about it, so definitely check those out if you haven't yet. But with all of that to say, some of what led to that decision to like shut my business down, some of that, a big part of that was because it was because we were doing so many things in these group programs that did not align with my values, and they just did not feel good. Now, mind you, I just shared how successful we were. And on top of that, not only was the revenue in our business, in our company, the best it's ever been, I had a repeatable process that I was following like this, like clockwork, to fill that program consistently. And my clients were doing anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 a year in those programs with me. So my clients were creating $500,000 in their businesses running group coaching programs. And all of that to say, a lot of people were like, why would you ever shut down all that success? Why would you let all that go? Like, it doesn't make sense. It sounds crazy. And a lot of, not all, but a big part of why I came to that decision and that roadblock in my business was because of the things I'm going to share with you today. That although clients were crushing it, although we were crushing it, we were doing, I mean, we had our dream team. It took me years to build my dream team. We finally had our dream team. Our programs were solid in the sense of how to promote them, fill them, and deliver them. Clients were getting epic results. We were doing financially like better. We had hit our biggest year, our biggest months ever in all of the years of my business. Like everything looked like it was like falling in place and all the puzzle pieces were connecting. But at the end of the day, there were things that were going on inside of these programs and in my business that were against my values, that were not in alignment with my lifestyle and like who I am as a person and how I lead in my life and how I live in my life, not just in my business, but like in my life. There were lots of things. And that's what I want to talk about today. That's what I'm going to share with you. It's like, what the heck was going on in these programs that was so grand that we had to shut a business down and I'm not saying like that's what you need to do. I tell my clients all the time, we don't need to burn it down and build it back up, but we do need to just get real, and we need to just, be really honest with ourselves where we're at, and really just make sure that the businesses we're building, that we love them, and that they align with our lifestyle and our values and our goals, right? And I just was not having that experience in my programs, even though we had a really proven launch strategy to continuously, like on demand, launch, promote, and fill these group programs, right? We had coaches in these programs that were helping to deliver. And I'm not saying that's always a good thing either. So let's talk about this, because there's just so much I have to say. And I want to be mindful of everybody's time, but I want to really get these points across, because these are things that they weren't just happening in my coaching business. They are happening in many of your group coaching programs. And they're also, like I said, I've worked with some multiple 7- and 8-figure coaches behind the scenes with them, and their group coaching programs are also experiencing these things. And so this is global. This is not just Anne's group program. And so I think it's going to be really helpful. So let me make sure. I just want to kind of pop in real quick, make sure we're good everywhere. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're live. All right, let's go ahead and do this. So let me just drop this down here. Okay. Definitely say hi, guys, as you're tuning in. Let me know you're here, okay? Hashtag replay, hashtag live. And let me know also, are you currently running a group coaching program, or is it on your radar to run a group coaching program? All right, let's talk about this. So all the things, where do I start? All the things, I call it like group coaching programs gone wrong. All the things that I was doing wrong in my group coaching programs, that my clients who come to me are doing most of these. A lot of you guys are going to be able to relate to a lot of this, and a lot of the multiple 7- and 8-figure coaches that I have had the honor and pleasure to work with behind the scenes also have this going on in their group coaching program. So this is not just a random rare experience. Like, a lot of coaches are having this experience. Okay. So you might notice in your group coaching program, okay, you might notice that you have clients not showing up. So maybe they're not showing up to the group coaching calls. Maybe they're not showing up to any special events, virtual or live, that you're doing. Maybe they're not showing up in the Facebook group community, or if you're using a third-party app for a group community, maybe you notice that they're not showing up there. Maybe you're just noticing that you have, a good percentage of your clients in your group program that just don't show up for themselves, and they don't show up in the program. That is one, I want to just kind of go through some of the symptoms, and then I'm going to tell you why this is happening. What's another one? Maybe you notice clients not getting results. So in my group coaching programs previously, we had clients not showing up. We had clients that didn't show up on the group coaching calls. We had clients that did not show up in the Facebook group. We have a Facebook group community. They were not showing up in the Facebook group community. They weren't showing up for themselves, but they weren't showing up for the program or in the program either. And we had a pretty good percent, at least half of the people, maybe a little less in our program, that we noticed this, right? So mind you, we're putting 30, 40 people every launch in these group programs. These are big programs, and we're noticing about half of the clients not showing up for anything, just where are they? We also had maybe about 40 or 50%, probably about that half, again, that half mark, that were not getting results. So we had clients in our programs that were they were literally they were closing $100,000 pay in full one-on-one coaching clients. We had client after client after client doing six-figure launches in 10 days or less. We had clients generating $250,000 to $500,000 a year on a repeatable, scalable strategy inside their group coaching programs. Literally, we had clients crushing it. And I'm talking fast, less than a year. We had clients that were doing $500,000 in less than a year, and they were doing $5,000 a month when they joined my program. We had clients who were selling $500 packages and had a couple one-on-one clients, and they just could not get their head around raising their rates, who within 2 and 3 months of working with us, they were charging $20,000 and $30,000 for 4 months of coaching. They were charging $100,000 for 12 months of high-level one-on-one coaching. And so the results speak for themselves. These clients were crushing it. Okay, they were having $5,000 days, $10,000 days, $16,000 months, $85,000 months. I mean, we could go on and on. But then there was 50% that just treaded water. They were just treading water. Their progress was really slow, but not just slow, normal slow, really slow. And they were very clingy and needy and needed the hand holding, and they were the ones that would show up on the sessions and ask the same questions over and over and over, or have the same problems. So every week we'd get on a coaching session, and that percentage of the clients were no further along that week than they were the week before or the week before. So we had a pretty good percent of people in the program that continued to tread water for months and months. And it was same question, same problem every time they showed up. And so we had half of our group clients getting phenomenal, mind-blowing, epic results on repeat, not just once, not a short-lived thing, over and over. So these people are showing up on the coaching sessions. They're jumping in, they're asking a quick question. They're having us give me my feedback, and then they're off to the races, right? These clients that were winning and getting these big results, they were really they didn't use a lot of the program because they were taking action. They didn't need to be consuming content and be on a lot of sessions. They were out taking action, and they were getting the results. And they would come into the sessions or the Facebook group, and they'd ask a quick question, and then they were off again. And their questions were questions, not I need approval, I need permission, I don't know what to do, all of that. These were very high level, high performing, very success driven women who were like, I did this thing, I'm thinking this, here's what I wrote out, here's the top solutions I have, do you have any thoughts? And they were boom, done. This other 50% that were treading water, not getting results, were showing up to the session. They were showing up, they were getting on the sessions, they were posting in the group, but it was the same problems and the same questions over and over. And these women would show up on the calls more looking for like more content, more strategy, more, but not doing anything with what we were given. And they were more so looking for like approval and permission, and for me to do the work for them, like for me to identify their message, for me to figure out what their niche was, for me to tell them what their clients needed to hear from them, for me to tell them what their transformation in their program was going to be, and for me to tell them these steps for what that would look like, right? Like these were those types of people. Now, everybody here who's ever run a group coaching program, you totally can relate to this. I think we've all experienced this type of behavior before in our programs, right? This is not uncommon whatsoever. But these were some of the things. And then we'd have high client turnover. This is another thing I was noticing in my programs, is that I was having a high turnover of clients. So instead of having client retention, I was having like basically we were replacing. It was like client replacing all the time, right? So instead of having clients renew with us and stay on, I mean, we did have, again, those clients that were getting those phenomenal results stayed with me for about 2 and 3 years. But the ones that were treading water, those people were the ones that were like, they wanted to quit and back out of their contract. They wanted their money back. They wanted extended payment plans. They wanted to like end their contracts and like step out, not even halfway through the program because they weren't getting results, but these were the ones not showing up and doing the work and all this stuff, right? So we noticed, although we had 30 women in these programs pretty much at all times, and we could easily add 20 or 30 in 10, 15 days or less with our launch strategy, even though we had that, we noticed that our retention rate, our renewal rate of clients was pretty low, or lower than we wanted it to be, and that the client replacing was much higher. So what we were doing is, instead of getting ahead of the clients, we were constantly replacing clients that were falling off, clients that were not following through with contracts, clients that were not staying in the program all the way through. We noticed that that was definitely higher than the client retention and renewals. Okay. Let me know if you can relate to that. Let me know if, again, if you're running group coaching programs, you've absolutely experienced this. You might be right now, right? Where you're feeling like I could definitely relate to this. This is definitely a thing. Those were some of the biggest things happening on the client side inside of my group coaching programs. Those were the biggest things. Now, on my side, as a coach, as the leader of these group coaching programs, I was experiencing, and this is where you could probably really relate, I was experiencing constant customizing. What I was doing is treating my group program like it was a one-on-one program almost, right? Some people call this a hybrid, where you have like, it's like you have like one-on-one coaching, you have group coaching, you have a mastermind feel, and you have your curriculum inside your membership site. So it's like a mix of all kinds of programs in one. Nothing wrong with that, but they have to be structured a very specific way to avoid these things we're talking about right here, which I was not doing at that time. And so I was actually being over available, and I was over given and over delivering and over creating for each and every single client. Now, mind you, we had 2 group coaching programs, 12-month-long group coaching programs. They each had 20 to 30 clients at all times in it. That's like 60 clients that I'm coaching. And I was customizing the program for every one of them. Basically, I was like, whatever you need, wherever you're at, just come in the program and we can help you. We will just meet you right there and we'll just help you. And we were literally like given Voxer access to clients to get them in the program, or to convince them, or make them feel like, it made us feel like, me feel, if I give them more and more and more, then they're going to see more value in my program, and they're going to be more likely to join and more likely to stay. I just got to keep giving. I got to keep giving. If I just keep giving things to them, then they will see the value and they will stick around. And that's what I was doing. I was giving one-on-one Voxer to most of the people that joined. I was given a lot of access to me privately, especially with the clients that were struggling, which was a really, really bad. It created a lot of codependency. So that was super, super wrong on my part to offer all that access like that. It wasn't the right, appropriate way to set those people up for success. And side note, those people treading in my programs should have never been in that program. So part of what I do with my clients is, and I call this proper placement. Basically, the idea behind that is putting the right people in the right programs at the right time. That was not what I was doing. Anyone that was willing to pay me, anyone that had a problem, anyone that wanted to join the program, we just let them in. And the way that we justified the way we'd support them was, we'll give you Voxer, you'll have the Facebook group, you'll have the group coaching sessions, we'll create, like, you let us know if you need something and we'll just create it for you. Like, so what happened is, here I am serving all these high-end clients in these programs, and I'm customizing the program for each and every person, because I had so many different people. I had strategists, brand experts, brand designers, brand strategists, coaches, virtual assistants, techie people, done for you agencies. We had clients just doing one-on-one coaching. We had healers, hypnotherapists, we had doctors. I had a whole wide range of people that were coming into these programs. And although my strategies work for these people, my strategies are pretty basic and straightforward. Although they could work for these people, it didn't really make a good, like, high functioning community amongst my clients, because you have new coaches who started their business yesterday coming onto a group coaching session, asking for, how do I identify my niche? And then you have these other clients over here who are filling high-end group coaching programs. They're launching, they're serving their clients, they're traveling, they're doing events, and they're making $500,000 a year. And their questions and the way they use the coaching space is much, much different than the way a newbie coach uses that space and uses that coaching to their advantage. Those are two different types of people. On top of that, like I said, we also had a very diverse community. So we also had people that were doing coaching, like business coaching. We had people that were done for you agencies. We had people that were hypnotherapists. We had people that were healers. We had doctors. So we had people of all these walks of life in totally different niches and spaces coming into one group program, getting on the same coaching sessions every week. And although a lot of people and a lot of coaches, and the reason I did this is because a lot of coaches will tell you, you want your community to be diverse. You want all of your clients to be able to come in and be in a room with multiple types of people and different niches and different this and different that, so everyone can learn from each other. And what I learned from that was that, yes, you want diversity. You want to have people that can bring conversation and bring value to the table and to the community and to the conversations. And you want all of that in your group program culture. But at the same time, there needs to be relatability and similarity amongst those people coming together in order for there to be conversation that benefits everybody and makes sense. So when you have a newbie coach who wants to know how she identifies what she's supposed to be doing, and you have someone coming in and is like, great, I have a client who wants a refund, and I'm generating $500,000 a year. This is my question. And you have two different people like that. The energy of the newer person, it drains and it pulls all the energy down to the bottom, because that type of a newbie coach is going to come in with more kind of a lack mindset, a newbie mindset, kind of a very newbie beginner questions. Their energy is usually a little bit lower. They're stressed out. They usually have a lot of like what seems to be like negative and lack energy for someone who's operating at $500,000. And so when you put these two people in the room, they just don't mesh well. And so we actually started seeing our high level clients, our 250 and 500K earners, we started seeing those people drop off the coaching sessions, and they would just send me a Voxer like once a week or a couple times a month and be like, hey, sorry, I haven't been on the calls. It's just like, it's just not the space that I need right now, or it's not what, I just like, I would rather privately just ask you my questions. And it wasn't because they didn't want to be on camera. It wasn't because they didn't want to be in the room. It wasn't because they didn't want to be in the community. It was because the people that were in there did not elevate the conversation, they were not relatable to each other. There wasn't an equal value being brought to the table. People don't want to be in communities. Like, I'm in mastermind programs with multi 7-figure and 8-figure earners, and I've worked in those companies as well. Like, I've worked for these people behind the scenes and with their clients. Like, I put myself in those rooms because I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I don't want to be the one with all the answers. I actually want to join conversations where I want people to enlighten me and talk about things I've never even thought about or considered or even knew existed, and bring new conversation to the table that is relevant to me and elevates me to think bigger and be bigger and do bigger, right? I don't want to go in to a group where it's a bunch of people who started their business last week and they're all like stressed out and negative and, worried about money. And so what I was realizing was that I didn't do the proper placement, and I had allowed people to come into a space they never should have entered. So in order for me to feel good about that wrong that I was doing, because I didn't know it at first, but then I realized it, but the people were already in the program, so now I need to deliver to them. And when I realized, oh, maybe I put the wrong people, and these people never should have been into this program, right? Once I realized that, I still had to serve them. Like, I wasn't going to throw them out of the program. And so that's where I found myself customizing everything and being like, I'll give you Voxer. Just Voxer me every time something comes up and I will help you. And I had I took on this huge responsibility as the leader and the coach and the person who let them in the program. I took on this responsibility of like, their results are up to me now, right? Like, I need to do what I need to do now to get them the results, because they're struggling and having a hard time. And I let them in. And I felt a huge guilt for that. I felt a lot of responsibility to be like, I need to do this for you. And so I would say, okay, you're struggling with that. Let me create a training on that. Oh, you need help with that. Let me create a PDF. I'll create a download for you. Yes, Voxer me every day, Monday through Friday, Voxer me with everything that comes out. And I found myself on hours and hours long Voxers as almost like a psychologist, almost like a therapist. It wasn't even like business stuff they were talking about. It was just like boundary crossed like you wouldn't believe. I also just realized that I have a very specific framework and model that has helped my clients get to the $500,000 mark. And in these programs, because I have people that were nowhere near that and they needed the beginner stuff, I found myself tweaking my curriculum and my process and my system constantly. And I was tweaking it not to improve it, but to cater to all the people that were not where they needed to be to have success with the curriculum in that program. So I was basically adding curriculum, changing my program structure, like my system. And it was like 3 programs rolled in one. And I was constantly, if I wasn't coaching or answering Voxers or posting in a group, I was literally creating and recording and all of these materials and new trainings. And it felt like I just got to a point where it's like a business in a box. If you're a coach, we just help you with all the things. And that, I found myself coaching on things that I knew enough about, but like, this is not my zone of genius. This is my specialty. It's not my sweet spot. It's not the work that I do best. But I found myself like, sure, I can tell you how to do that because you need it. And like, you're here. So let me tell you. Anybody tuning in feeling like, oh my gosh, I can relate to this. I am experiencing this in my programs, or maybe you've been in a program where you've experienced and witnessed this and you were like, I can kind of see this isn't like working, or like you could feel it, you could see it. Maybe you've been a part, I've been in many programs. I invest in high level masterminds all the time, and I see this all the time. And I invest with multiple 7 and 8 figure mentors. So these are very wildly successful people, yet their programs are having all of these problems, right? And I can see it because my programs had it too. And I see this with a lot of my clients coming my way. Another thing is you can feel like if you don't create everything that your client needs, and if you don't make yourself available to every single client in the way they need it, then you're failing as a coach, or your clients are not going to see the value, and your clients aren't going to stay, and they're not going to get what they need, and they're not going to get the results that they want. And what happens, and what I did, is I created a very codependent client-coach relationship where clients were literally Voxering me in the middle of the night on the weekends to tell me about personal things going on in their life that were affecting their business, things going on in their business, and that they were struggling with this and they needed me to do this. And I had to figure this out for them, and all of this like unnecessary, very like boundaries crossed kind of energy. And then it got to the point where these clients, this 50% that was struggling, that should not have been in that program, they were literally like to the point where it was like they wouldn't be able to make a decision in their business, and they could not think for themselves. And they were literally at the point where like, I can't move, I can't do anything, I can't make a decision. I literally am stuck right here until you tell me what you think I should do or how I should say it. Like literally it got to the point where clients were like, what should my copy say? What should my messaging be? What should I tell people the transformation is of my program? How do I talk about that transformation? They were asking me things that is not a coach's responsibility. They were asking me to do their work for them in ways that no one else can do for you. Like no one can tell you what your niche is. Nobody can tell you what the transformation of your program is. No one can tell you what are the steps to get from where your client is to where they want to be. Nobody can do that for you. No one can tell you all those things. That's a responsibility that is on each individual, right? And I had clients that were literally coming to me like, tell me what my messaging should be. Tell me, should I be this niche or this niche? Should I say it this way or say it that way? And can you tell me what should my system be? What should my step-by-step system be to get my client this transformation? And then how do I talk about that transformation? And do you think that's a good transformation, or should it be something else? And in these moments of having 20, 30 clients doing that, there was a level where you feel defeated. You feel like you dug a hole, you got yourself in so deep in like a mess, and you made so many mistakes that you feel like there's no undoing. Like, how do you unravel 10 years of all these mistakes? And that was kind of where I was. I was feeling like I've got this amazing, super profitable, extremely scalable business model. I have some of the best clients on the planet getting results in record-breaking times that I've never seen anywhere. And I have it, my dream team, my amazing team. Everything looked like it was so perfect. And inside, I felt like I've got myself in over my head, and I've dug a hole so deep, I don't know how to unravel what I've created. Like, how do you fix this and go back? Like, And for me, it was just this overwhelming sense of failure, of guilt, of like, what the fuck did I do? How did I get here? And like, how do you unwind this? Like, how do I start to peel back the layers of all these mistakes I made and start fixing them? And that was a big part of what led to me shutting my business down in 2021 is I just needed to I needed to be out of it, right? We work very closely to our businesses. And so we don't typically usually see the bottlenecks and the breakdowns in our businesses because we work so close. And I spent months and months trying to like unravel these mistakes and like, how can I fix them? And for me personally, I had just got to a place where the solution for me was I needed to take a break. I needed to step away and I needed to reset and just like get into a different space because I built it up to such a mess. And so I share this because these are extremely common things that are happening in programs where you feel in the moment that you're doing the right thing. You feel like I should give access through Voxer to like most of my clients. Or if my clients ask me to share something like a training with them, if I don't have it, I should create it. If my clients need to see my swipe copy for how I take my clients from zero, from A to B, whatever, then I should just give them my swipe copy. If my clients need additional support outside of the program curriculum and structure, then I should just adjust my program to fit that person. And each one of my clients is so unique and different in their own ways that I need to cater to each one. In the moment, that can feel like the right decision. That can feel like that's what you should do as a coach, as a leader. But what I realized through that, and what I've been helping other millionaire coaches do, and what I help my other clients who are trying to get to multiple six figures in their coaching businesses through group programs, is we really have to reframe that idea that in order for a client to see value in our program, and in order for a person, a human, to get results in their business, it is very dependent on how much you give to that person and how much you do for that person and how much you're available to that person and how much you create for that person. And it's just kind of reframing and stripping that down to the truth that you're going to have people that are going to be the right people for your program. And then you're going to have people that don't belong there, even though they have the problem you think you can solve. And even though they might have the money to make the investment, they don't have the winning characteristics, the winning criteria to be qualified to come in and actually get results in your program. I talk about this all the time. I have so many podcasts on premium clients, champion clients, on qualified people that will win in your program. I think I did a podcast on this months and months ago about how do you create a space and a container in your program for clients to win in your program. And that's the whole point. Like there's no point in filling up your programs with when 50%, 60%, 70% are going to come in and fail. And then you find yourself trying to cater to all of those people when the other 50%, 40%, 30%, whatever over here will come in, take your curriculum and your structure, they'll run with it, they'll execute it responsibly, independently, and they will use your coaching wisely and do good with the coaching and do good with what you teach them. And they will lean on each other and use each other in the community to elevate each other and to come together and co-create, versus the only person that can help me is the coach. And I can't move until I get their approval, their permission, their sign off, right? And what happens is you create massive codependency where your clients feel stuck. They feel dependent on you. They feel like they can't move. They can't make a decision. They can't take action. They can't think for themselves without you. And it creates this level of massive unhealthy codependency. And for me, I have many clients who have gone through my programs and they've hit $500,000 a year $250,000 a year. They've raised their prices, they've elevated their mindset, they've actually become different people, the best versions of themselves. And when they leave my program after 1, 2, or 3 years, we are still connected today. And those clients are still having epic elevations in transformation and continue to up level in their life right now and in their business due to, of course, their hard work, but also what we built together in our time together. And so when you work with clients and you create a space and you don't have boundaries and you don't have a structure and you bring the wrong people into the wrong containers who aren't set up to win, you end up catering, you end up over giving, over delivering, over creating, being overly available. And all of that creates a very high level of codependency between the client and the coach, where the client is so dependent on you and so needy that they tread water unless you're holding their hand. And even when you hold their hand and you walk them through over and over the same things over and over, and you create all these things they say they need, and then they don't act on them, and then they're still in their head and they're still treading water, and you're finding yourself saying, like, it's laid out for you. I've created all this stuff for you. I've boxed with you for hours. I've answered all your questions in the group. Like, I've been so overly available. I've done everything I can think of doing, and you're still not like moving forward. There's still no progress. You're still treading water. And that's what you start feeling like, what more can I do? Oh my God, I got to do more. Like, my clients are failing because of me. And it's like, when you put the wrong people in a space, they can't thrive. They're going to sink. And you're going to feel like you have to jump in and save them. And then all of your clients who are floating at the top and they're rising and they're elevating and they're having all these great experiences, they start to feel like all of the attention and all of the energy is over here on these sinking people. I need to go find a new room that I can be in so that I can have elevated conversation. I can have co-creation, an exceptional experience, something that's going to continue to help me, stimulate me and help me grow and evolve and become even more and even better version of myself. And now your best clients start leaving you. I literally had this happen multiple times in multiple group programs. And then you find yourself creating a new program all the time. And you say to yourself, you know what? I just need to create another program. I did this too. Oh my God, I did this. I just need to create another program. I need to create another program. And by creating another program, I'll just create another program and another curriculum. And then I'll just put people in that. And what you find is you're doing the same thing over and over, just in multiple programs, right? That's what I was doing. I was creating multiple programs, all very successful because I dominate the sales space. I know how to sell and I know how to deliver and I know how to speak to people. And that is my strength. That is a big skill set of mine, which is why I can sell like a mofo. I don't know anyone who can sell the way that I sell in such an authentic, very natural, neutral way. It's a very special talent I have, and I relay it and carry that down and teach it to my clients, which is why they're so successful. And so even though I could sell and fill out these programs like crazy, I was just literally creating new container, new curriculum, new way, new this, new strategy. And I thought that was the answer. And I did a post about this like 4 months ago, 3 months ago, I don't know, a while ago, that had said, like, if you're not generating the results and the sales, if you and your clients are not generating the results and having the experience that you want, new programs is not your answer to solve that problem. Like, creating a new program and a new course and a new space and a new curriculum and a new thing and a new this and a new strategy, that's not going to solve this problem. And I found myself doing that and then having the same result and the same experience and the same set of problems inside what was one program is now 5 programs. Can anybody relate to this? As I'm saying this, like, Are you feeling like, oh my God, this is like, I get this, I've done it. I'm so curious to hear if you've done this, if you're doing this, maybe you've experienced it in other programs you've been in. And so I wanted to come in and share, like, I actually have a free workshop coming up. Now, for those of you that know me, I used to launch every 4 to 6 weeks for 10 days. And I would have 6-figure launches in those 10 days. And that was part of my strategy back then. I do launch, I still launch. Obviously, you have to launch. You have to launch your business and your offers. I still launch, but I only do these workshops. I do them for 4 days instead of 10. And I only do them a few times a year. And now we use other launch strategies that are not quite as heavy and exhausting and buzzworthy to consistently sell. But I do have a live workshop coming up that I'm really excited about because, again, like I said, I only do these a few times a year. So I'm really excited to be doing this right before we kick off here in Maine in the summer and stuff. We're really going to do this workshop and then take a little break again. We'll be selling and doing some other things, but this is going to be probably the only workshop, like for live workshop for 4 days live, you and me on video and on Zoom, probably going to be the only one until probably closer to summer, the end of summer or something as we head into fall. So you're talking 3, 4, 5 months from now. So I definitely would love to invite you to this. And here's what we're going to do. It's going to be my impact at scale workshop. So this is going to be for you. This is going to be for you if you are a female coach who is already running group coaching programs, or you are very successful in your one-on-one program, your one-on-one services, and you're ready to add the layer of the leverage. You're ready to leverage group coaching programs at scale. And you're ready to do that if you're transitioning into that. This is not for a newbie coach. This is not for you if you just started your business, or maybe you're not a coach or consultant or a CEO. If you are not a coach or a consultant, and if you're not already running group coaching programs or very successful in a one-on-one coaching container, and you're wanting to leverage group coaching programs this year to start to scale your impact and your income. If you're not doing those things, this would not be for you, because what we're talking about and teaching is not going to be relevant. But what we're doing is we're going to spend 4 days live on Zoom together. I'm going to be doing lots of co-working sessions. So if you ask my clients that are in my programs, we co-work all the time. My clients love it. We get on a Zoom. It's a power hour is what we call it. And we get on for 1 hour and boom, we are implementing. We are just like doing the work. We're taking the action right there on the spot with our peers. And it's a community, it's a co-creation, it's collective, it's collaborative. And what we're going to do is bring some of that into this free workshop so that each day you're not just sitting there consuming information and learning. We're going to teach you a thing really quickly, and then we're going to move into action. So you're going to actually apply and implement and take action right there, just like I do with my clients in my group programs. And so we're going to spend 4 days together. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be doing, this is what I'm going to be teaching. This is what you'll learn. This is what you're going to get and gain from participating in this live workshop live. Okay. It's not going to help you if you don't show up live, because we have these co-working sessions, these breakout rooms, these co-working sessions that we're doing where we're taking action and doing the thing right there on the workshop, right? In that moment. And so if you're not going to be live, it's just not going to be the same kind of experience. But here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be shifting, and we're going to reframe what I call story lies and unserving beliefs about group coaching. And I want you to become the Gucci standard in your coaching category, where you're going to lead champion clients to win big. Okay. So we're going to show you how to take stories, AKA lies, that you have conditioned yourself to now believe that do not serve you, that hold you back and keep you playing small, right? A lot of you can relate to, I feel like I'm hiding behind this mask of like, I'm hiding behind it, but like the real me is behind there and I just haven't shown it yet, because there's these story lies basically stories that are lies that you've told yourself that you now have cultivated and you believe them and you've settled with them, but they don't serve you. We are going to show you how to shift those and reframe those as it pertains to group coaching programs, right? And we're going to show you how that leads into not only being a category of one in your coaching category or coaching space, but how can you lead champion clients to win big in your programs? Because that's where the money is, right? And I'm going to share in this workshop my 4 R's of what happens when you create and cultivate a space like this in a container in a group setting like this. You have champion clients who renew with you. They refer amazing other humans to you. And by the way, it's a lot easier and far more affordable to retain current clients and to renew current clients than it is to acquire a new client. That just costs more time, money, energy, right? And there's a whole process for that. So that's not, your money is going to lie in your clients being champions that get big results with you so that they renew. They want to stay with you, they renew with you, they retain for years, 1, 2, or 3 years is what my clients typically do. They refer amazing people to you that also join and do this. They are getting massive recurring results and you're generating recurring revenue. All 4 very equally important elements of a group coaching program. And so of a business period, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to either design or redesign. And I say that because you might already have a group coaching program. You may just be adding this now for the first time as a new element. So we're either going to design or redesign and deliver a high-end signature group coaching program that's going to lead to your clients' retention rates increasing. They are going to send you rapid referrals. They don't need to be with you for a year to send referrals. They're going to have repeatable results. And you're going to have repeatable, predictable, recurring monthly revenue at scale. Okay? And there's going to be some mindset things as we talk about creating exponential growth inside of a group model that leads to those types of results and freedom that also align with your value and your lifestyle. There's going to be things that are going to come up mindset-wise that are going to tell you that's not possible. Or you're going to have these things come up where there's this long list of reasons why you can't do that or why that won't work for you or why your thing is so unique and different so that those outcomes can't happen and exist in my world. Like there's going to be things that are going to come up 100% around this. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to show you how to reframe those so that you can move through them. Okay, so it's going to be super important. I'm going to be sharing my best practices to 10x your client performance so that your clients get bigger, better, faster, easier results over and over and over and over again. So they want to keep staying with you. They want to continue to renew with you. They want to keep sending referrals to you. This is where the money is in group coaching programs. If you are just replacing clients all the time, your recurring revenue is going to be a roller coaster. If you have clients that are treading water because they don't belong in your program, so they're not getting results and they want refunds, you're going to have client retention pretty much at 0, super, super low. Your results for your clients are not going to be there. So you're not going to get reviews and testimonials, right? And they're not going to want to stay with you. And so all of these things that we need to really bring together an epic group coaching program that has space for massive transformation and big champion client wins and recurring revenue and all these beautiful things, we need the right people in the program. So we have to talk about how you create a curriculum and a structure inside your group program without overgiving, being overly available, over creating, burning out, and just adding more and more access and more things to your programs, thinking that's what your client needs and that's what's going to get them the results. And we're also going to talk about a scalable, repeatable launch strategy that you can consistently use and leverage and to promote and fill over and over again your group signature program with those premium champion clients that you love and that win really big. So we want to figure out for you, we have a few different launch strategies that we teach depending on your style, your lifestyle, your values, and just how you want to be showing up and leading. We have a few different ways that we teach our clients to launch, and you just want to find a launch strategy that's going to work for you, right? Everyone is different. We're not teaching a million different ways to do it. We have 2 ways that we do it. Hi, Sarah. We have 2 ways that we do this inside of our programs, but we're going to walk through in this free workshop a little bit about some different ways that you can identify a launch strategy that's going to really work for you so that you can consistently fill and promote and sell and deliver group programs at scale, group coaching programs at scale. We're talking 20, 30, 40, 50 plus people in a program. And your mind is going to swirl with what you think that has to look like and what you think you're going to have to do and create and give and be and all of that, right? Like your mind is going to start swirling with, oh my God, I can't imagine the work that's going to require from me. And so that's not true. And these are things I want to show you this in this workshop. So we have a free workshop coming up, Impact at Scale. We are actually kicking off, what is the date? We are kicking off May 17th through the 20th. Like I said, it's 4 days live on Zoom. We have a Facebook group you're going to join. And then we're going to kick these sessions off live on Zoom with daily co-working sessions. We call these power hours. We do them in all of my group programs. My clients love these. We're going to be doing that. And like I said, this is for you if you're a female coach and you already have group signature programs that you're delivering, you're promoting, you're selling, you're putting clients through, you're working with your clients in, or you have a one-on-one program that is successfully filling out and selling, and you're ready to add group signature program to your business model to scale. Okay. So you fall in between there somewhere. This is not for the newbie coach who's like, I have one client or I've never worked with anybody. And like, I want to just come learn how to build a group program. And I don't even know my niche right now. It's not the right space for you. This information is not going to be servant of you. It's not going to help you. We are going to be really picky. We want this to actually be a small, intimate group because we are doing those live co-working sessions. So this isn't actually, we are promoting it publicly, but we're not just going to let every single person register and enter the group and enter the space. Because remember, I was just sharing with you, the elevation in the room needs to be there, right? We need to have collective minds together. And it isn't going to be serving or fun for people if we have someone who is just starting their business today and has no client who's stressing out, and someone who's like, yeah, I'm at that, 6-figure market. I'm ready to take it to multiple 6 and 7 figures. Let's go. Let's do this. We need to make sure the energy in the room matches and it's elevating and it's uplifting and empowering. And so we are being particular about who comes in this space. Okay. With that being said, we are working on the registration page, the Facebook group and the welcome email, and all of that this week, today and tomorrow. So we're hoping to have all that open and ready. If you would like to attend this workshop, if you're listening and you're tuning in, you're like, okay, these are me. I'm checking those boxes and this sounds like a pretty great next step for me. I'd love to be in this free workshop. If that is you, I want you to comment workshop. Okay. I want you to comment workshop. And what we're doing is we're going to be reaching out to you to give you the link to register and to join the private Facebook group, and all the information that you need to plug this into your calendar so that you can be there live and you can come and actually have the in the room experience, and actually start to get results and take action throughout this 4-day workshop. Okay, so just comment workshop below if you would like the link to register. We don't have the link. We will have it today or tomorrow, along with all the other things that you're going to need to make sure that you are scheduled, set up, you block time off for this. So we will have all of that done by today or tomorrow. So in the meantime, comment workshop below. I will make sure that we write your name down and you get the registration page, and that you get all the information you need to make sure that you can successfully attend the live workshop. Okay. Awesome. Super excited. I'm so excited. If you guys have questions, please post them below. And I would love to continue this conversation in the comments. I would love for you to share. Do you have and sell a group coaching program right now? or do you want to be doing that? Have you experienced any of this? Or maybe you've experienced this in other programs you've been in. I would love to keep this conversation going. I'm going to be talking a whole lot about this. It is my special zone of genius. It's my specialty. So I definitely want to talk more about this. And I want this to be a two-way conversation. Okay, I'm not on here to talk to myself. So definitely share your thoughts, share your opinions, share your experiences. We want this to be collaborative. We want to kind of co-create together. I want a two-way conversation. Okay, I don't want to be a talking head. I definitely want us to engage. So share your thoughts, share your takeaways, your questions, your experiences below. Again, type workshop below if you would like the link once we open that page up today or tomorrow to everybody. And we will be going through, you will have to answer to get into the Facebook group where we're going to be hosting this and get access to the Zoom links for the live sessions. You are going to have to answer a couple of questions because, like I said, this isn't open to everybody. We are promoting it publicly, and then we are going to be letting the most qualified people in because, again, we want collaborative conversations, elevated conversations, and we want this to be relevant and a great experience for everybody. And it's just not for everybody, okay? The registration page is going to be very, very clear. It's going to be very laid out who this is and is not for. So definitely type workshop below. We'll send you to that page. You can check it out, qualify yourself or not. And then we can go from there and get you in the group. It's going to be amazing. Remember, we kick off May 17th through the 20th. So 4 days live on Zoom together. We're going to have a workbook for you guys as well. So get excited. I'm excited. You're going to see lots of promotions as soon as we have the page up here for this. So comment workshop below. Definitely get ready. And we will see you guys all really soon. All right. I hope this was helpful. Bye, everybody.